Hello, and welcome back to the Spring to Life podcast. My name is Caitlin. I am a holistic hormone health coach, a fertility awareness educator, and a Pilates instructor. And I have combined my passions into the Spring to Life method, which is a lifestyle approach designed to help women balance their hormones naturally, love their periods, and live cyclically, and just embrace your natural internal rhythm, because that is where we can truly feel vibrant. And this podcast is all about spreading that message and kind of highlighting different modalities and techniques and habits that we can implement in our lives in order to feel our best. And this week, we are talking about why you need to stop buying supplements from Amazon. Amazon has become so ubiquitous in our lives, and I know that it is so convenient. I am guilty myself of ordering supplements off of Amazon in the past, and that's kind of where I want to start this story, because before I became certified as a hormone health coach, before I really understood how healing truly works, I was just fed up with being sick, and I got to a breaking point and I knew I needed to make a change. The first thing I did was get on Amazon and order the book called The Miracle pH Diet, I believe it was called. And this book is really promoting a vegan ideology in order to heal chronic disease. And there are some really great parts of it. And now, me being on the other side of my healing journey a couple years later, there are parts of it that I don't totally agree with. But I needed something to radically change in my life in order to feel better. And this was a good first step in some ways, and it was a learning experience, we'll say, in others. So what I did once I read this book and kind of knew what my path was going to be is I cut out all processed foods and I cut out all animal products. So basically I was eating a vegan diet. I was juicing celery in the morning, and I was eating mostly vegetables. There wasn't even a lot of fruit in the diet plan at all, which was difficult for me. I actually did start to drastically feel better very quickly. But one of the pitfalls looking back on this diet is there are a laundry list of supplements that you are supposed to include in your regimen in order to, heal from your chronic ailments. And in my case, I was suffering from migraines, hormonal cystic acne, gut dysbiosis, food sensitivities, getting sick all the time, chronic yeast infections, UTIs, you name it, I was dealing with it, and it was just awful. And so I knew I needed to make a change. And I did not know the first place to look for most of these supplements. There was lots of crazy things that I had never heard of before. So what did I do? I went on Amazon and I ordered a bunch of these supplements. And looking back, it was kind of like throwing spaghetti at a wall. I know for a fact that the dietary changes that I made, cutting out all of those sources of inflammation, adding in lots of high fiber vegetables and healthy fats in the form of avocado and olive oil, was really healing for my gut and for my body overall. But then I was taking, 20 pills every morning, practically making myself sick, because I actually have a bit of a sensitive stomach in the morning, where if I don't eat right away with supplements, then I feel nauseous. So this was a lot. It was a lot to commit to. And now, as a functional practitioner myself, as a hormone health coach, I would never in a million years recommend to a client that they go on Amazon and just order a bunch of supplements willy-nilly, because you have to be a little bit more calculated about it. And there are just so many pitfalls to ordering supplements from Amazon. There are some great things that you can order from Amazon, and I've tried to boycott Amazon the past couple of years, but now I live in rural Northwest Montana, and it's just sometimes simpler for me to get some things from Amazon than it is for me to drive around and try and find a store that's carrying it. For instance, I recently purchased some rugs on Prime Day. That is the type of purchase that I fully back, making from Amazon. Supplements, not so much. And we're going to talk about why. And my main reason is that convenience is not always better. Sometimes you're paying a price on the back end for that convenience. In a University of Mississippi sample test, they tested 30 different supplements. Only 13 of those 30 contained exactly what was listed on the label. So less than half of the test sample population had what was listed on the label. So there are all of these pseudo supplement companies cashing in on your good intentions for healing your health. When you're buying something from Amazon, you just can't be totally 100% sure of the source. There's third-party distributors, there's middlemen. They're obviously not providing you with a pure product. So I just cringe when people ask me what supplement they can quickly order off of Amazon to be like a cure-all, or they tell me, oh, I just order this multivitamin off of Amazon. And that's just, it's a step, but you could be working. We want to work smarter, not harder when it comes to our health, right? We want it to be simple. So sometimes you have to do a little bit of preparation work in order for the process to be simple. And we'll get into that. But another reason why it's dangerous to order supplements of Amazon, where we do have all of these distributors and middlemen and third parties, is because there are no laws requiring supplements to be approved by the FDA. So it's kind of like the wild, wild west for supplement companies. It really is up to the manufacturer to be responsible and to be honest in their formulations and in their marketing. So when you are buying supplements, you want to look for brands that are committed to third-party testing and try to buy directly from that brand or from that manufacturer. There was also a Journal of our Alternative and Complementary Medicine study in which they sampled 12 products. So in 67%, or 8 of those 12 products, there was at least one ingredient listed on the label that they were not able to detect through analysis. So if you're buying a supplement because it contains L-theanine, and that supplement actually doesn't contain L-theanine, what a waste, right? You want to get what you're paying for. In that same study, 83% of the products, so 10 of 12 products, contain compounds that were not listed on the label. And I think this is even more dangerous, because what if you're allergic to something? What if you have a bad reaction to something? What if it's building up a toxicity in your body? How dangerous to have something that contains ingredients that are not listed on the label. You could think of this in the context of food allergies. If somebody is gluten intolerant or has celiac disease and is, really can't be exposed to gluten, and they get a gluten-free muffin from the bakery, but it was actually made with whole wheat flour, that's a problem. That could be really dangerous to their health. So you want to have that same amount of scrutiny when it comes to your supplements to make sure you're not introducing things into your body that could be making you sicker. And that's another thing too. You never know if something is perhaps been exposed to mold or it's been expired. That's another danger with ordering things from Amazon. You don't know the shelf life or the expiration of these products. They could not be as effective as they should be because it's an older product. It's kind of like how you can buy all sorts of like perfumes and skincare products for a discount at like TJ Maxx or Marshalls, but most of the time, the reason that those products are at TJ Maxx or Marshalls is because they're past their shelf life or they're expired. So it's not really the best investment to be buying those products there. So what do we do? How do you navigate this? How do you start to heal your hormones? How do you start to address your health if you can't buy supplements on Amazon? I have a couple tips for you. So number one is going to be to work with a provider, whether that's your primary care physician or a functional practitioner. You want to be getting the correct supplement. So I always recommend getting blood work done before you embark down any new regimen or supplement plan, because when you get your blood work, that's going to be just this map to what your body is really needing at that time. It's going to tell you what you're deficient in. If you're low in your B vitamins, then we know we need a B vitamin. If your omegas are low, then we know we need an omega, right? And you're not having to take all of these other extra supplements that maybe you don't need. So this comes to my next point, is you're going to stop wasting money on supplements that you don't need. A lot of times you see influencers or commercials or whatever saying, oh, this is a cure-all, this is the thing that's going to fix all of your problems. And in reality, maybe you're not deficient in what that certain supplement contains. So if it makes you feel better, then, our mind is very powerful. I'm not going to tell you you can't take something, but it's not necessarily necessary for your health. And along with working with a provider, you want to go through provider channels when possible to get your supplements. I'm even wary of buying things from the grocery store shelves or Walgreens or CVS. I want to make sure I'm getting the highest quality supplement possible for my money, because if I'm going to be taking something, I want to make sure that it is working. So for my clients, and I know a lot of other practitioners use this online dispensary as well, I go through FullScript. I've got access to a vast range of different companies, manufacturers, products, different price points, and I can put together protocols specifically for my clients based on labs that they share with me and the conversations that we have in order to address their unique and bio individual needs. And another perk to working with a provider in that capacity is you oftentimes get a discount. For me, if I'm not recommending supplements through FullScript, I have a few companies that I trust and work with that I will promote. And the only reason that I promote them is because I myself take these supplements or use products from these brands every single day. So examples of that for me are Zuma Nutrition. I know that they are US based. I know that they responsibly source their ingredients. And I have had a good experience with a vast array of their products over the past couple of years that I've been working with them. So I feel confident and I feel comfortable promoting that brand and recommending that brand to my client base and to my audience as a whole. The same thing goes with Ned. I love their CBD products. I love their magnesium products. Their quality, they're effective. I have worked with the brand and know how committed they are to the quality and to the purity of their sourcing. So I'm only going to recommend things that I truly believe in and I truly know are going to be beneficial for health. And the last point here is that you can't supplement yourself to health. Your diet has to come first. All of the macro and micronutrients that we need, the vitamins and minerals that we need, can be found in whole food sources. So this kind of goes back to that crazy elimination diet that I was talking about at the beginning. That was a little extreme, but now I know how to build a plate of food that is going to be nourishing for me, that is going to fill in those gaps of the things that I know I tend to be deficient in, or depending on where I'm at in my menstrual cycle, I need more carbohydrates, or maybe I need more healthy fat, maybe I need more protein. I'm always striving to balance my blood sugar, but food truly is medicine. For example, I shared a recipe for these red velvet brownies last week because they contain anti-inflammatory coconut. There was coconut oil, coconut milk, and coconut flakes in them, and then mineral-rich beets and cacao. And let me tell you, you cannot taste the beets in these brownies, but they were so great for me during my premenstrual and menstrual phase because I had a little bit of cramping, and it totally alleviated those symptoms for me. And it's just so nice to have something that's really rich and fudgy, filled with cacao. So things like that, it's so nice to be able to just have those foods. You probably want a brownie anyway when you're on your period. Why not make it one that's really good for you and that is going to help to eliminate your symptoms? So when you're able to fill in the gaps with food, the less you're going to rely on supplements, because who wants to be taking handfuls of supplements every single day anyway, right? So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you think twice before you order your supplements off of Amazon next time. My DMs are always open if you have questions about this kind of thing. If you want to work one-on-one with me and get some assistance in honing in your food and your supplements, I'm happy to work with you. I love helping women to feel better about their hormones, to balance their hormones, to feel more in the driver's seat with their health, because that's really what this is about. You don't want to feel like you're a victim, especially when you're dealing with a ton of symptoms. You want to feel like you have control, and that is what the Spring to Life method is intended to provide you. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching if you're here with me on YouTube. And make sure you are subscribed to the show, to my channel, so you get notified when a new episode releases. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. I'm at Spring to Life Method. And I will talk to you next week.